Do you ever wish that there was some way in life that you could just avoid the consequences of some of the decisions and choices that you've made? Well, today we're going to talk about why consequences are important. Consequences. So what are they? In this life in which we live, there is nothing in this life that really has meaning until we attach meaning to it. Now, there are some truths that exist and operate whether we know about them and understand them or not. But for us individually, in the way that we feel and the way that we behave, it's based on the meaning that we attach to things that occur in our life. So why would you want to avoid consequences? Well, it would have to be because you have a belief that says the consequence or consequences that you're experiencing are not a good thing. But whether the consequence is a good thing or a bad thing is based on the belief that you have about the consequence and your belief about who you are as an individual, your belief about your purpose here in life, and your belief about the world in which we live. If you believe that something is bad, then that is probably something that you don't want in your life. Well, what if you were able to change that belief and move from good and bad to working and non-working? Because the problem is oftentimes when we associate the word bad to us, we also tend to think that we are bad. So if you make a decision that is bad or you have an outcome that is bad, you may have a subconscious belief that that means that you are bad, which is not true. You are good. We are all good. And we're all on this earth to become the best that we can be. And the way that you become the best person that you can be is through trial and error. Think about in your life everything that you have learned to help you become who you are right now has been based on trial and error. From the very beginning of your life, when you were learning how to control the muscles, to control your hands and your arms, and to hold your head up straight, and to learn to stand and to walk, all of those things you learned by trial and error. And at a very young age in your life, when you were an infant, you had a belief or probably had no thought at all about failing or making a mistake. In fact, you probably didn't even see it as a mistake because you were probably with parents or other people that loved you. And as you were learning to walk and as you fell, they would pick you up and help keep you safe. And they would say positive and encouraging things to you because you stood for a few seconds, or maybe you took one step before you fell. And they focused on the step instead of the fall. But somewhere in your life, you began to have experiences that said when you do something wrong, when you make a mistake, that says that there is something wrong with you. And as a result, you began to avoid making mistakes or doing things that are wrong. That's a belief that you accepted as part of your mindset, which isn't true. The truth is that you are a good person, and the only way that you can learn and grow and become an even better person is by making mistakes. And so we can change that term from mistakes, and you can look at it as it's a consequence. We tend to have a negative connotation or negative meaning attached to consequences. Well, you can change that. You can look at consequences as just an opportunity to learn. The consequences are feedback to you in your life about what is working and what is not working. If there were no consequences in your life, you wouldn't be able to learn anything at all. And in fact, you probably wouldn't even do anything at all because, again, consequences are everything that happen as a result of the choices that you make and the decisions that you take. So happiness is a consequence. Healthy relationships are a consequence. Having a home to live in is a consequence. A car to drive is a consequence. Your health is a consequence. So consequences are just information or feedback to you that lets you know that what you are doing is either working or not working. It also lets you know, or will help you to look at, well, what are the thoughts and the beliefs that I have in my life that are driving my behavior? So if the consequences that I'm getting in my life are not the consequences that I want, again, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It just means that you've got a belief that is not based on truth. That's a good thing, because now you know where you need to focus on in order to learn or gain new information that will change your thoughts and beliefs, that will change your behavior, that will give you different outcomes. So consequences are very important. That's the only way that any of us can learn anything and can grow and achieve. That's the only way that we can experience happiness in this life. So consequences are very important. Look at the consequences that you're receiving in your life. See them as a positive thing, a helpful thing, and use them to make positive changes moving forward in your life. Thanks for watching today. Subscribe to our channel. Visit our website below. There you'll find more about who we are and what we do. And if you're watching this on LinkedIn, make sure you follow me here.